Yeah. We're live, welcome to the 7 podcast. Let's dive behind the scenes with the man behind the scene. The needle moving, CrossFit media. Caleb in background, and then there's Sousa, executive producer. Just shut up and scribble. The man with the most to say, but says so little. No smile, JR 2 syllable. They say he's hot, he's crash crucible. Mr. Self from Taylor, full weight podcaster, not derailer. Mouth like sailor, sentinel, training programmer. Colin Colton, let's kill Taylor. Everything you need to know, the Sevenistas got you covered, got you covered. Anytime you're feeling low, Paper Street baristas, coffee powered, coffee powered. Everything you need to know, the Sevenistas got you covered, got you covered. Anytime you're feeling low, CA peptides move you forward. Move you forward. Tyler Watkins, eat one. Make your picture the Big John Young, he's coming. Senior analyst, climb his mountain. We like his shouting. Income Hiller, the no rapping Silla. Don't look out overhead or squat below parallel. The Batman gonna fly out to hell. Yo, Pedro, most creative man in his space, formerly known as Peter White. Fake news, dry humor, he brings Irish sarcasm to the mic. CrossFit father, Greg Glassman, the solution to the most vexing problem. Fixing broken science is the plan, starting with your level 1. Everything you need to know, the Sevenistas got you covered, got you covered. Anytime you're feeling low, Paper Street baristas, coffee powered, coffee powered. Everything you need to know, the Sevenistas got you covered, got you covered. Anytime you're feeling low, CA peptides move you forward, move you forward. Start with the guest, e-break, unhinged rant, talk, politics, DEI. We should call Laura, chasing Grum, Bill Gunler, Caleb and the shot taken. Ryan spin with the Babel spin, news like adrenaline. Wonder if they would let him do the behind the scene this year. He and his team brings excitement we haven't seen many years. Bryson Del Monte gets XLTs at Vindicate. The man who orchestrate Will Brandstetter looks like a graduate. Everything you need to know, the Sevenistas got you covered, got you covered. Anytime you're feeling low, Paper Street baristas, coffee powered, coffee powered. Everything you need to know, the Sevenistas got you covered, got you covered. Anytime you're feeling low, CA peptides move you forward, move you forward. Bye-bye.
Damn. Saber killed it. Damn. Wow. Found that in my WhatsApp last night. What a treat. Happy birthday, Sevi. What a treat. What a treat. What a treat. I need to figure out what I'm going to do with that. God, that's good. I need to get that recording when I get home into my soundboard so I can just play the song. Who's going to make the music video to that? Holy shit. I got to get all the boys together and we got to make a music video. Wouldn't it be dope? We got to fly, what do you got to get Sabir? Oh, maybe in January, bring Sabir and Kelly out to Scottsdale and have Rios make a music video and get all the boys together. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Wouldn't that be funny? Wouldn't that be awesome? Music video, me and the homies. All right. Oh. I haven't heard from Greg this morning. I'm not sure if he's coming on. I'm not sure if anyone's ever coming on. 8 o'clock a.m. Saturday morning. Kill Taylor. DNA for Addiction is the sponsor. When I was at Emily Kaplan's house at the BSI event, her daughter was there. What a great kid. I don't even think, maybe she's 10. And she was at the door greeting people, big smile, saying hi. And after the talks were over, she came over and she goes, I love your Matuthian. I love it. And she brought over my tooth powder. And I was like, man, this is the best kid in the world. I go, do you really like it, or are you just telling me that? She's like, no, I love it. It's my favorite toothpaste. My favorite tooth powder. I was pretty stoked. My kids like it too. It's weird. I'm surprised they like it for some reason, but she loved it. The kids love it. No fluoride. Maybe they know it's not making them dumber. Sevi, what's the Met Fix workout of the day? I wanted to. I've been telling Greg he should start up the old blog, just like the original blog. Every day a workout and an article. Just something that like titillates him. Like he sent me something. I mean, he sends me cool shit every single day. It's like I get my own personal curated news blog from him. Thomas Stroud, Sevi, hi. I started dating a registered dietitian. She's got a sweet rack, and I do her doggy style every morning. She likes morning sex just like I do. Oh, wow. No. I just brought up Broken Science to her. You think the world is aware of what Greg is doing with that? No. I don't think so. Dude, the world isn't even aware of CrossFit. I keep seeing all of this stuff. It's funny how Greg can just change my opinion on everything in one kind of swoop. He did it on the air the other day. So when he started CrossFit, remember the whole thing was, I don't know if it's when he started it, but at some point he's like, hey man, we're not going to save everyone. We're not even going to save most people. All we can do is build these lifeboats. And if people want to get on board, there'll be one in every town. That is the CrossFit affiliate. Remember? And now there's this group of people who are doing really good work and are inspiring people, but they're talking about microplastics and ultra processed food and just all of this, all the bad things out there, right? That Coke's tricking us to buy this, and they're in bed with Pfizer, and we're being tricked to do this and to do that. And then Greg's like, man, I go, what? He goes, the message is don't eat sugar. Don't eat refined carbohydrates and get off the couch. That's it. All that other stuff is just nuanced. It's just like, maybe that information is great for us. We're already at the 1 yard line. Is it the 1 yard line? We're already at the 99 yard line. Maybe I shouldn't sleep next to my router. But dude, if you're 400 pounds overweight and you're worried about microplastics, 200 pounds overweight, if you're eating a pint of Ben & Jerry's every night before you go to bed, like... And the truth is that, and you guys know this as well as me, most people aren't even going to get on the journey. And maybe all of the stuff that they're doing that is a net positive and brings some cool awareness isn't going to help anyone. They're not even in the game. Yeah, get off the sugar, get off the couch, then get off the seed oils. Yep, I agree. The insides of those cans, I hear, every single can you drink, whether it's sparkling water or soda pop, has a plastic sprayed inside of it, and that plastic lines the inside of the can. And then the rest of and then obviously the rest of soft drinks are actually in plastic bottles. And if the average Mexican citizen, not Mexican as an ethnicity, but Mexican citizen, someone who lives in that piece of land below San Diego, the story is that the average Mexican citizen gets 55% of their calories from soda pop. So if you quit drinking soda pop, you probably cut your microplastic intake by 100%. No, I don't think. Hey, dude. At the end of the day, I'm going to tell you this: that course that Greg made, it took me, I don't know, 2 years of listening to him say it, but finally I got it this last weekend. It's a red pill course. That's what it is. He's made a course to red pill people. He's giving you the tools, and if you use them, all of a sudden you'll be like, you'll just start seeing stuff. It pulls the veil back. It gives you a huge fat dose of reality. It gives you the tools to fucking, it's a super like bullshit Geiger counter. You know what I mean? Greg uses the word rot I forget the exact quote, but he said he quotes some guy, I don't know, from 100 years ago, who says after education, after this 2 years education, I forget what the degree's in, you should be able to distinguish between what is rot and not, meaning what is bullshit. So, Christine Young, I only drink Paper Street coffee. I saw something crazy from the guy who owns Strong Coffee. I don't know where it's at, but someone sent me a quote that guy said. That guy was saying that CrossFitters aren't the best athletes in the world. They used to come to our gym and we would beat them all the time. I think that guy's drank too many of his dessert drinks. And I think he's conflating athlete with fit, but still, I'd like to take another any discipline that's out there. And then in the hopper, you can only put sports. Let's say instead of putting movement. So in the hopper, you put football, soccer, pole vaulting, gymnastics, darts. Just take all the sports, slap fighting, MMA. You take all those sports. You put sports in the hopper, and I'll still put any group of CrossFitters against any other discipline. Are you out of your fucking mind? Soccer, I hardly know her. Chase Bryan, I went to urgent care yesterday to have a light bulb removed from my anus. Ooh, I've heard of that. They had a vending machine in the waiting room, and all of the food in the machine had superfood on every package. Oh, they had that written on there? Oh, no live calling number? Mr. Plumber. There we go. Hopefully I don't have a popping sound. Yesterday, I set up, I'm in Newport Beach, and I set up my podcast studio here, and I hooked the phone up. Hopefully it worked well last night. If you missed last night's show, this is why this show is so amazing. Someone called from a burner phone from P. Diddy's cell and let us listen in on what was going on in P. Diddy's cell at Rikers. So there's that. Okay, here we go. Let's see if it's working. The burner. What's up, Diddy?
Debbie, can you hear me?
P. Diddy, what's up, dude?
What's up? It's Plumber.
Oh, darn it.
Oh, come on now.
Listen, I might have, if Diddy calls, I'm just going to drop you, okay?
That's fair. Just drop me.
I'll talk to you until Diddy calls.
I think one of the tough things, and like you said, most of these people aren't ever going to take that journey and take those steps. Right?
Oh, you work for Strong Coffee.
No. I don't work for Strong Coffee, but I'm friends with them.
Okay. I'm friends with them too, but and he just said something retarded on the internet. That's it. I say retarded shit on the internet too.
Exactly, we all do. But what I'm getting at here is the tough part about nutrition and exercise, and it's because we all think like it's everyone's opinion has been validated, right, as truth, essentially, right? Like you make your own reality.
Right.
So they have their own reality.
I'm not a pedophile. I'm a minor attracted person. Totally different. I heard some chick this morning trying to tell me the difference between pedophiles and child molesters. It's like, oh my God. Okay, sorry. Go on.
Yeah, ones that are successful and ones that aren't, right? Like that's the difference. Right. But since everyone moves and everyone eats, they think that their opinion matters on it, right? And that it has some validity, right? Because everyone moves a different way. That's why as like a trainer, right, or a coach, right, like oftentimes like you want to default to your athlete who you're coaching to and listening to them. But also if they like don't like to do anything, they're not going to like to do anything. If that makes sense. They're not going to want to make any change.
Let me ask you this. So the other day I saw a video on Instagram of Jason Khalipa, and he was talking about UFC fighters that get gassed out. And so he says he basically shows that in between rounds or while he's waiting or, roll for a minute and then go to the sideline and do squats with a bag on your back and then go back in.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I'm putting that as a check in the CrossFit box. He came up with that because he's a CrossFitter. I'm going to give that as ding, 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 CrossFit. Constantly varied functional movements executed at high intensity.
Yeah.
Instead of resting between rounds. And so it's like, I think also so many of these people, if you just go back 20 years and then look at what they're doing now, they're doing CrossFit and they don't even know it. They were inspired.
100%.
They were inspired by it. I remember Holly Holmes, when she was the champ over at UFC, they would show footage of her doing ring muscle ups. I mean, we have to know that she was doing CrossFit.
What people forget is that Greg took a bunch of different disciplines and put them together, right? He never claimed to create this like the best, right? The operating system for the human body, right? He pieced it all together.
Well, yeah, essentially, he said he didn't create any of it. That it's part and parcel with your DNA. God created it.
Exactly.
He didn't invent any of the movements.
100%. That's why when people are like, "Oh, you can't say wall balls are a CrossFit movement," right? People have been squatting and throwing things overhead forever,
right?
And it's like, yes, that's the point. That's why we started doing it, right?
Yep.
So it's just silly shit like that.
Brianna Roney, nearly every top level rower I met recently does CrossFit, whether they accept, whether they do or not. I went and I did it in the early days with CrossFit. I went and did a piece with the Olympic rowing team. That was weird because the shortest dude on the team was like 6'4", and all those dudes were doing CrossFit. Those dudes found CrossFit and they said it just launched their abilities through the roof.
Well, and you can take the concepts of constantly varied functional movements executed at a high intensity and apply them to sports. Like yesterday, and I don't play basketball, but I've started shooting hoops more recently because I want to regularly learn and play new sports. But it's just fun to challenge that. But I went and shot. I was like, all right, I'm going to shoot 25 free throws, right? But I was like, all right, you got to get 5 free throws, but you have to shoot right hand, left hand, and then I shoot a granny shot.
Oh.
And if you miss, you just move on to the next one, right? And you rotate through those 3 variations of it, like the shot.
Yep.
Right. So you never get into a rhythm, but you have to focus on your mechanics for each one. Otherwise, you're never going to make any.
Right.
But you could apply that. You could have, take Caitlin Clark and say, 5 minutes, as many free throws as you can get, but you have to switch shots each time, and she'd get adaptation from it. That they probably haven't done because they've probably shot 50 in a row on the right, 50 on the left.
Right.
Right. But if you just add that little thing where you have to switch back and forth.
Yeah. Oh, someone said, was that the Canadian national rowing team? It might have been. Hey, along those lines, what's interesting about that is when when Katie Henniger won the CrossFit Games in 2008. I don't know if you remember that CrossFit Games, but all the workouts were really short, and your score was your total time. So, and you wanted the lowest time, right? So if you did one workout in 1 minute and 20 seconds, and the next workout in 3 minutes, your score was 4 minutes and 20 seconds, and they added up all your times, and the lowest time was your score.
Yep.
And I remember her saying that Games was built perfectly for her because I think she may have even been drafted to the WNBA, but and I think maybe she's in the Hall of Fame at Ohio State as a basketball player. But I think I remember her saying that in basketball, you never go outside the 4 minute time domain. There's no really point to what I'm saying other than it just as an interesting note, because she said in basketball, the longest you would ever be on the court without a break is 4 minutes for whatever reason. I don't know, like whether it was a TV commercial break or some sort of timeout or whatever, but so that Games was perfect for her. That's just a side note.
Yeah. That was your favorite Games, right? Because Katie was there and won.
Oh my God. It was awesome.
Were her and Bill married then?
No. Well, I don't know. No, I don't think so. I don't even think they were dating.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was when it was like still a shot. Or were you dating your wife then?
I was, but when I looked at Katie, I still saw hearts in my eyes. I was like,
fair enough.
Yeah.
Have a good one, Sevi.
All right.
Good talking to you.
Bye.
Bye.
Think about that. What if I would have married Katie? She'd be poor instead of filthy rich. She scored. The real Kevin. No, they were not married. CrossFit. I remember Bill on the message boards posting about wedding rings. There you go. Katie dodged a bullet. Sevi, read us the no. I think I'm mad at you, Trish. Sevon, are you going to Rogue Invitational this year? No, I don't think I've ever been to Rogue. Oh, good. My favorite kind of show. Lots of calls. I have no plan for the show today. Caller, hi.
Sevi, I see you're not in your normal studio office today. Do you have a pen and paper right there? You could take a quick note for me.
Yes, sir. You sound like you. Are you a private investigator? You sound like a detective. Do I need my lawyer?
No. I'm a second-time caller, long-time listener.
Okay, because you sound like a cop. You're like, Sevi, where were you at 10 a.m.?
No.
Okay.
But
you sound like Inspector Gadget. You sound like Inspector Gadget.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to come across that way. But what I need you to do for me next week, write this down.
Okay, next week.
That Brianna Rooney caller from yesterday was an A+ call. Can you follow up while she's with that football player and get a kind of a play-by-play of how it's going?
While she's at the house.
Yeah.
Yes. Wow.
And then also is
should I ask
Greg
her some? Should I ask her some tricky questions? Like, should I be like, how big is his penis? When really I'm just trying to figure out if she hooked up with him. You know what I mean? Like, just should I ask her a bunch of questions with presuppositions?
I have 3 daughters your kid's age, and I want you to ask her questions as if she was your daughter. Because I want to know how you would handle it.
The comments were saying that I wouldn't have given her that advice if I was.
No, it's great advice. Great advice. Okay. I can tell you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would say.
Okay.
To my daughters.
Right.
And then also, is Greg coming on today?
I don't know. I sent him a link. I want my daughters to, and my sons, like I want my son to, or I would want my daughter to interact with super high level successful people, regardless if they made it to the NFL or they were a PhD in mathematics. But and I think it's okay to like someone for their accolades. I think it's very attractive. I think any girl, I'm attracted to any girl who fucking is pole vaulting in the Olympics. You know what I mean? That's exciting. Or you know what I mean? You see them dancing, and that's an attractive trait in someone, right? Or you see them in front of
because it took a lot of discipline, and you love discipline,
right? And even a great waitress or waiter is attractive, right? They're commanding your attention. They're up there. They're paying attention to you. Those are all attractive traits. They're cool.
They're into it.
But I don't think that there's any benefit in sleeping with them. I don't think you capture someone. I mean, and I apologize because you have daughters, but unless occasionally out there in the world, that like all pussy's magical, but there's some pussy out there that's like beyond magical, and unless you somehow have one of those,
right, and maybe it's not the pussy that you're referring to. Maybe it is that discipline, and it is.
Right.
It's something else.
Right. Okay. And it could be, but there are those girls that you turn into Lepi Le Pew. Like you just start floating around them.
I mean, her mother took her to get a Brazilian, and you kind of brushed that off like water on a duck's ass.
Yeah. And I apologize.
That was impressive.
Yeah.
You didn't even. It's like you didn't even hear it.
I know, and you know it.
Like, is her mom on all fours with her? We got to know this.
I kind of didn't like that part.
Oh.
I did.
Gotcha.
I kind of didn't like that. Have you heard this idea that like falling in love is only a phenomenon in like the last 100 years in relationship to marrying people? Like basically in our first fucking 99% of our existence as humans, we got married for other reasons besides love.
Like, or you had a slave you were sleeping with that you secretly loved, that whole thing, that rabbit hole.
Yeah, but that too. But I was actually thinking, I was thinking more along the lines of like people got married for practical reasons, right? Like, hey, that guy can provide food. My dad likes that guy's dad. We have 2 pieces of land next to each other. If we get married, we'll have one giant plot of land. I think that's why people used to get married, right? Just basically set up marriage.
Convenient.
Yeah. Or more than practicality.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now we get married because someone has fake tits and a fake ass, and it all of a sudden it makes it seem like that those setup marriages make more sense. Maybe I'm
Right.
just getting old. Maybe I'm just getting old.
No, that makes sense. And the reason why I asked if Greg was coming on, if you could just ask him for me if he thinks, I'm fascinated with this right now for some reason, if he thinks we went to the moon 50 years ago.
Okay. I think his dad maybe played a huge role in the moon landing, so he'll probably have some strong opinions on it. Did you hear what Joe Rogan said about it recently when he had Matt Walsh on?
Yeah, I did. That's kind of what, I've heard, I'm kind of with him.
I mean, that thing about going, I guess there's some radiation belt around our planet, and no one's ever
400 miles away.
Yeah, and he was saying that no man has ever gone through it except for people who were on the Apollo missions. Twice, the U.S. has gotten men through there. That kind of freaks me out. I didn't fact check that, by the way, but he said that.
Yeah, that's true. And when you were up in Sacramento, in, let's say, the house you were renting at a few weeks ago, could you live stream from your phone without Wi-Fi? Did you have good service up there?
I think we did, yes.
Okay, well, when you try to live stream something with bad service today, it's hard. They live stream that. I think the moon's like 250,000 miles away. They live streamed it in 1969.
Yeah,
for us to watch. Think about that.
The other weird thing is when they I've seen interviews with like a NASA scientist, and they're like, "Hey, why haven't we gone back to the moon?" And they're like, "Oh, we lost the technology. We misplaced it."
Right.
That part.
And don't forget, they called the president. They called the president from 250,000 miles away.
Yeah.
I mean, you can piss on my back, but don't tell me it's raining. I'm fine with you peeing on me. I totally am, but don't tell me it's raining.
Hey, does Elon know the truth? He does the space.
He does, but he can't say it because he's got ties with NASA, SpaceX, huge government contracts. So he can't say that, but he can't get there. He's tried. He can't get through that belt.
Wow.
What's that tell you today? Think about the technology today. Just take anything, cameras, any technology that's changed in '69 is so much better. Just so much better in the last 10 years.
Hey, I went to the room. They still have I think it's at Cape Canaveral. I went to that room with Greg where it's still set up, where all those guys sat in those rooms in front of those like computers, I guess. Well, I don't know what they were back then, when they did the space mission. And the guy who's giving us the tour, Greg and I, basically said that the equipment in there was like iPhone was like 1,000 times more powerful than all this equipment put together. And I swear to God, that room looked like a movie set.
Well, there you go. And just maybe brief on with Greg without going too far into it, because we want to hear more about fitness backed with nutrition. Obviously.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, and bye for now.
Bye. I need someone to call and talk to me about Barack Obama's real name. Ryan, what's up, dude? Since Tyson Bagent plays with and against the biggest collection of freaks in the world, I'd love to hear him weigh in on the theory about CrossFitters being the best athletes over pro athletes. I think Tyson has said that by far he's the fittest person on the team, like by far. I think he said that on the show. So, well, I'm glad that guy liked that call. That call blew me away too. I wish the audio on it was better. I wish he wasn't calling from the I wish he wasn't calling from the bathroom. Y'all, not a Brazilian. I'm just hairy. It's just legs and pits. She just wants me to look my best. Yeah, fair enough. I just didn't even think of what a full body insinuated. My bad. Fair enough. Geez Louise, some people got married for a goat or 2 goats or 5 goats. I was in Africa. I was in Africa in this village, and there was this man, and he was 85 years old, and he had 5 grandkids, and the mom was dead. She died of AIDS. That's what he told me, or a translator told me. And the 5 grandkids were from his daughter, but from 5 different men. And his property had 3 teepees on it. It was just a village just with teepees. Everyone lived in like these I don't know if they were actually teepees, but they looked like teepees to me. They were like huts made of like dirt and sticks. And when I was there, I filmed with him for a week. And then when I left, I bought him 5 goats. And later, about a year later, I was asking someone about him. Hey, how's that guy doing? And they said he got a wife. He had like a 35-year-old wife. I'm like, how'd you get that? He goes, when you bought him the 5 goats, it attracted a woman and he got a wife. Caller, hi.
Hey, Savon.
Hey.
Since you're the knower of all knowledge,
Thank
I
you.
need your love advice. I'm 2 hours away from CrossFit Crash.
Wow.
And I want to go to the Crucible.
Wow.
Or whatever it's called.
Okay, yeah.
But the week after the competition, I'm going to be gone for a week. And my wife wants me to spend time with her and the kids before I leave. So she won't let me go.
Who's going away for a week, you or your wife?
Me.
Oh, and where? Can you tell me where you're going?
I'm going to work. I'm in South Carolina, but I got to go for a week in Georgia for a show. So I'm going to be gone.
What kind of show?
I do agriculture stuff. So I sell like autopilots for tractors and like GPS systems, like self-steering equipment for tractors, for agricultural stuff.
And how long is the trade show you're going to?
It's 4 days, so I'm gonna be gone from Monday to Thursday night.
And what about bringing your kids to Crash?
Well, that's what I said. But they're 2 and 3, so she's like, I don't want to have to chase them around the whole time while you're watching the competition.
Well, you're staring at JR's ass.
Yeah. I mean, I'm really going for Colton, but, JR's cute to look at. So.
Right.
And Taylor's all right, I guess, too. But
Brandon Waddell says, well, this is great. Oh, Brandon, I owe you a call. Can you tell the caller to rephrase his question that his husband won't let him since she's obviously the man in the relationship? Ouch. Ouch. Ouch.
Well, I see that point, too. But I like to be a fatherly figure and spend time with my kids and keep my wife happy because,
let me call JR real quick and let's see. Let's get a second opinion on this. That's tough, dude. That's tough. I think the venue is going to be very kid friendly. JR hates it when I call him and he misses the calls. He's going to be so bummed if he misses his call. Oh, nope. He's probably coaching right now. How close are you? How close are you? Who's winning? Like, if who's winning the conversation right now? How close are you to going?
Oh, it's like not even a conversation.
Oh,
we were gonna go.
She's just whooping
you.
She was
yeah, we were gonna go, but then I got this new job, and as soon as I started, they're like, "Hey, you got to be gone for a week in October." And I was like, "Okay, that's cool. I can't say no. I just started the job, and then it just happens to be the week after the Crash competition."
Do her parents or your parents live close to you in town?
They're about 2 hours away.
Oh, could you invite her mom to the house while you're gone?
I mean, I could.
Would she like that?
Try that.
Yeah. I mean, I totally see your point, man. I totally see her point. And I'm biased because the thought of leaving my house for any reason, even no. Hey, what about just going there? Would you stay the night there? Or would you go there and come back?
Just go by myself.
No, but what's the plan with Crash? Are you thinking about going for the entire thing or just for one day?
No, I just want to go Saturday.
Oh, yeah, take the family just one day. It'll be fun. Load them up in the car. It's a good experience. It'll be a good experience for your kids.
Okay.
Tell her to quit
tell her that you approved it.
Yeah, tell her to quit being selfish. It's for the kids. Hey, what about this? This would be crazy. What about taking what about going there with your kids and then bringing a nanny or her mom or something, or your mom or one of your dads to help you watch the kids?
Yeah, my dad would like to go too. I might try that. I'll pull that card.
And
is it free to get in?
It will be for you. If you come with 2 kids, it's free to get in. Password Sevon.
Okay. I'll tell Sevon approved it.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you own a CEO shirt?
Well,
Do you own a CEO shirt?
I do.
Oh, yeah.
I have the red one.
Yeah, wear that. You're good to go. You're good to get in.
All I gotta do is wear my Sevon shirt and I get it for free.
Listen, David, he's not a beta cuck. How the fuck would you understand? You don't know anything about responsibility. You fled the country. Now you just fuck Portuguese women. You don't even know what you're talking about. You haven't had a relationship that's lasted longer than from 6 p.m. to midnight. Okay, sorry. I just had to fight some people off in the chat. There we go.
No, that's okay. I completely understand why they see that, but
that's my proposal. That you bring one of the grandparents and you'd be like, you know what? I don't even really want to go to Crash. I just think that you need a day just to chill.
Yeah, it'd be a good family outing for before I leave.
Yeah, perfect. All right.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, but don't get in a fight with her. It's not worth it.
Okay. I won't.
All right. Keep me posted on how that works out. I want to know how that works out.
I'll let you know.
Okay, bye. Man wants to go to, that's a good headline. Man wants to go to CrossFit Crash to see Colton Mertens. Oh shit, Sleeky, bring your wife's boyfriend. My goodness. Man wants to go to CrossFit Crash. Wife won't let him. Maybe does the Crash Crucible have a is that what it's called? The Crash Crucible? What's the team one called? The Crash. There's one that's Crash Crucible and there's other one that's called Crash. Anyway, whatever one he's going to go to, I wonder if there's a web page and there's like a help section and there's like a question on there. What should I tell my wife if she doesn't want me to go? Oh, Crescendo is the team one. Thank you. Yeah, he needs a page on his website. That looks like it falls under the guidelines of the PFAA. How do I go to events without damaging my relationship? Holy cow. Welcome to the live call-in show. Carried by the callers today. Caller, hi.
Hi, I'm Devin.
Hi. Nice to meet you, Devin. I'm Sevon.
Oh, this is Sevon. I thought this was like a pre-person that like screens them or wherever. I'm a little behind on the video. Sorry.
No, wouldn't that be cool if we screened someone? Susie used to say we need a screener. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? We barely can run a show.
You're just right on it.
Yeah.
Oh, answer it and let's go. Let's roll.
Yeah. Talk to me.
Cool.
Seven. Devin.
Devin is 7. Perfect. So I've only been listening to the Greg call-ins for like a month now.
Okay.
Owner affiliate for quite a while now. And one thing I was thinking
how long have you owned an affiliate?
10. We just hit 10 in August.
Congratulations. Are you the only owner?
No, it's my wife's gym and I work for her. I mean, we opened it together and she runs the show. And
you're gonna get ass pounded in the comments. I'm sorry I asked that. By that I mean, have you and your wife owned this gym? Has there been any other owners or did you start it from scratch?
No, we started it from scratch.
Okay, so a real 10-year owner.
$5,000 to open the doors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay. In what state?
No.
In what state? You sound smart.
Western Oregon. So
and you sound gay. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. Okay.
No, actually, we're in a really cool little community. It's almost like a conservative safe haven in the craziest state you could live in. So,
okay.
It's a really great little community. So anyway, I love listening to Greg,
mm-hmm.
right? And I think one thing that would be really helpful is, when I listen to like a BSI talk or a lecture he's given or a call in, he's always mentioning like, oh, I've been reading this, I read that, and he'll drop the names of these authors. Or even like a couple of weeks ago, you were talking about Roger Kimball.
Yep.
And so I started listening to Roger Kimball. I'm like, man, this is all amazing stuff, but I'm always like kind of picking through the weeds and looking for these authorities that you guys are excited about and listening to. And I feel like I got to like watch an hour and a half lecture to like just pick out an author or pick out a paper or something and then go find it.
Right.
it'd be great if somehow there was like a what's Greg reading page, or what is he like? What's influenced him? As someone who is excited about BSI and whatever MetRx is going to be or MetFix is going to be, I'm happy to read, and it'd be really cool if that was something that was curated. You guys have already done the work of like vetting, like what's a good source, what's a bad source, and I think people are hungry for that. At least I am.
Let me call Souza really quick. That is a great, and he has he's built a. Hey, what's up? We're live on the air.
Oh, what's up, dude?
Hey, this guy's asking. He'd like there to be a CrossFit a Greg Glassman reading list. Would that be something that he could find at what's the name of your at Media Launch?
We can try to pull one together.
But not of Greg. That's already been done. Like there's already like the Glassman files on BSI and all that.
One second, Souza. Go ahead, caller.
Not necessarily of Greg, right? Like we already have all the things he's written through the journal. It's all really easily accessible. I'm interested in like who is he reading or who are the BSI people reading, things like that.
So Souza, he wants. I'm confused. Okay, Souza, I'll get back to you on that. But I think that would be. Do you like that idea, Souza?
I do like that idea. I wonder how much of like the other stuff that Greg shares that doesn't get talked about on the show that we repost articles too.
Yeah. All right, I'll get back to you. I have to flush this idea from this guy. He's talking to me about nuances. He wants the list curated to something specific. Let me figure out. He's an affiliate owner.
Oh, awesome.
In Oregon.
Cool.
Okay. When I say he's an affiliate owner in Oregon, what do you think? What's the first thing that pops in your mind?
Blue hair.
Say that again.
Blue hair.
Blue hair.
Blue hair. All right, I'll find out if he has blue hair. Thank you, Souza. Bye. Do you have blue hair?
There's not a lot of blue hairs where I live, but I know what you're talking about, and it is true in Oregon. So
yeah, even the Trump shooter had purple hair.
Yeah, right.
Okay. So what exactly? You want to be the list of books Greg's currently reading?
Currently reading, has read. When he gives a talk, he always just drops all sorts of names of authors and scientists and who he likes and who's like on the pulse of going in the correct direction. And it's really hard for the normal person to like, get through the weeds. And I think we were pretty good at critically looking at our sources, but if he's already done the work, that's like just way easier,
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'll do my best. That's a great idea. Hey, if you are interested in going to the Scottsdale event in January, you should contact me in December.
Okay, cool. It's in January?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to be in January. I know he's going to Morocco and Costa Rica and Switzerland, like between now and the event. But I have to assume it's going to be the 2-day event. And hey, this first event is going to be equivalent to like being at a CrossFit seminar in 2001, like one of the first ones. There's going to be a group of us who are going to get to see this seminar when Greg does all the lectures, and it's going to be like some Steve Jobs shit. It's going to be incredible.
I'm excited. I'm going to put it on my calendar. I'm going to contact you.
All right. And you can bring your wife. Do you have kids?
No kids. Been trying for a couple of years. It's like a goddamn part-time job.
My mom sent me an email once on how to have kids. I didn't open it. Maybe I'll forward it to you.
Yeah, send it to me.
Okay, I will. All right, thank you.
All right, thanks, Devon.
Bye.
All right, bye.
All right. I should go back and open that email. I asked my wife last night. I'm like, when do we get to stop using condoms? She's like, well, I just don't want to have kids. I don't want her to do anything stupid either, like put in an IUD or fuck that. I don't want anything touching the magical pussy. Caller, hi.
Hey, Savant, Andy Hendel calling.
Andy!
Yeah, man, I love the show.
CrossFit Charlotte, home of Kill Taylor. Unfortunately, Andy has raised the rates on us for doing the show there. We need to talk about that. That sucks how much you're going to start charging us to do the show there.
No, never charge. I never charge.
He upped it to $10,000 per show. You can be honest.
It's gonna go on my charity ride here in 3 weeks for the Navy SEAL Museum.
Oh,
bad cause, right?
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah. Hey, you want to hear something really crazy?
Yes.
A week and a half ago, my
You still
gallbladder.
wait. Let me guess. You still use condoms too?
No.
Oh.
No, me and my wife, we had our second kid, and went to. And you want to know the name of my urologist? You ready for this one?
Yeah.
The name of my urologist his name was Dr. Stop.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Never make your wife go on any medication to do that. It's much easier for the guy to work on birth control than a female.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Solid advice from one of the true OGs, not the word we throw around lightly. Okay, so tell me, you're going on this bike ride.
We're going on this bike ride. I just want to remind you. But anyways, a week and a half ago, my gallbladder decided to rupture.
Ooh.
Is that crazy or what?
Yeah, I want to say my wife had her gallbladder removed before it ruptured. Did you have No, you didn't have your gallbladder removed? What did you have removed?
No, I did. It just seems like a common surgery, though.
Oh, no. Oh, my wife had her appendix removed.
Right, that too. Yeah.
Do you need your gallbladder?
Well, it kind of stores bile, and it's for fat to digest fat properly. But you just don't have to store it. You'll still be able to digest your fat intake.
How did you rupture it?
Dude, I have no idea. I came home from the gym, did my time and did a workout, felt great. About 5 o'clock at night, I started having these below my sternum was all this cramping going on. I felt like I had gas in my digestive tract.
Uh-huh.
And it was really kind of getting painful. And my wife was like, she already has the scare from my heart attack. And she's kind of like, I'm taking you to the hospital. I say, I'm not going to the hospital for indigestion.
Yeah.
So, a couple hours later, I'm still having the same pain. I'm like, well, this isn't right. So, hell yeah. I go in, my gallbladder ruptures and they got to take it out. Kind of crazy. So, but anyways, I was, the reason I guess I called is, you were talking about sports and CrossFit. And first of all, in any professional sports, these are amazing athletes. Especially, I'm around football, so I can't really speak for every sport, but I kind of specialize in football. And there's some just amazing athletes. There's the guys that play on the field; they don't even go in the weight room. I mean, they don't need to. I mean, they're just genetically superior people.
Right.
It's and like me. I was a free agent, a walk-on, and all that stuff. So I lived in the weight room just so I compete with guys, just to compete with those guys. But I had this gentleman named Will Johnson. He ended up playing for the Steelers for about 7 years. He graduated from West Virginia, and he wasn't drafted. He wasn't draftable. And he came into my office, and I said, well, look, there's, if you want to do the West Virginia workout, I mean, there's 100 guys in town that'll do that with you. I said, but look, I'm a CrossFit coach. I'm going to tell you why you're not making an NFL team right now. Because you can't do, and he was like a fullback / tight end, like an H-back. I said, you're not good enough right now to be able to make people miss you at that level. You were great in West Virginia because you could just run over people. In the NFL, you can't do that. And so he just wasn't nifty enough. And what I mean by that is he was great with a barbell, but he didn't have the gymnastic skills, if that makes sense. He doesn't have the gymnastic skills, which means you got to remember when you go on a football field, you can't take the barbell with you. All sports are about body and space. And the gymnastics, and to be able to put the gymnastics with the running, with the lifting, as we do in CrossFit, he was taken as a free agent, and he played as a free agent for 7 years in the NFL. That's amazing.
I'm not saying this to be a dick or anything, but you're taking credit for that you brought CrossFit and the gymnastics component to him from CrossFit, and you think that took him to the next level.
Yeah, because he couldn't, his body, he wasn't good enough in space at the NFL level. It was good enough for college football, but not with the best of the best.
Is he still playing in the NFL, Andy?
No, this was some time ago. It's probably about 15 years ago. But he played 7 years, and he's been like a strength coach ever since, and kind of stuff like that. But again, if you don't do gymnastics as an athlete, You know, it's like, I forget, there's a guy who used to play for the New York Giants years ago. Then he played for Tampa. He's a defensive end. And there's a video out there. He's 6'7", 275 pounds, and he does 23 back handsprings in a row.
Wow.
Okay, and what I'm saying is, and you got to block that guy?
Right.
You want to block that guy? It was amazing. He used to say, like, Julius Peppers, a defensive end who played for the Panthers. He was an amazing athlete. He played basketball at UNC. And it's like, how do you block a Julius Peppers? It takes a Julius Peppers to block a Julius Peppers, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That's why the offensive tackles are getting so much better, because they're blocking people like that.
Hey, really quick, back to your gallbladder. Are you still doing the ride?
You know, I just saw the doctor, and the only threat of it is because they take that stuff out of your belly button, so they cut that pretty wide open. So they just got to be careful of having a hernia. But, you know what I mean? At the bike rides, the long story short, I'm going to do the bike ride. I'm going to have an e-bike around just in case, because half the ride's because of me, and I can't. I mean, I got to be there. You know what I mean?
Why? Did you organize this event?
No, but it's kind of like a redemption ride where, Andy's coming back from his heart attack 3 years ago, on his deathbed, the whole thing. And
Andy, I'm gonna speak on behalf of your wife. Why can't you do it next year?
Because we won't be doing the Natchez Trace next year. It'll be something else.
All right.
Yeah, it'll be something else. And I'm going to be super careful. Like I said, I'll have be in an e-bike.
How long is the ride?
It's like 5 days, a little over 400 miles.
Yeah, I don't think you can be careful on a 5-day ride that's 400 miles. I don't think that's possible.
But it's not a race, though. I mean, if we go more than 15 miles an hour, average more than 15 miles, pretty casual ride. I mean, I did 30 yesterday.
Is it
Concept 2?
Are there hills?
No, man, it's like the Mississippi. It follows the Mississippi.
All right.
It goes from Natchez, Mississippi to Nashville. I think the total elevation is like 700 feet.
How do you what's the name? How do people donate money to this? It's a fundraiser, right?
Yeah, right now it's for me, because there's about a dozen of us. Half of the guys are ex-SEALs. The other half guys are like me, raising money. And it's in, my Facebook page, Andrew Hendel, and it's on there. But Navy, and you can go into, and it's trying to think the name of the ride is something about Trident. My Trident. Earn Your Trident. It's called Earn Your Trident.
Do they have a website?
Yeah, so it's just the Navy SEAL Museum website, and then you go to the Earn My Trident, and you'll see pictures of like 12 of us or so, and then I have my own personal page for me, my story. And
I think Earn Your Trident bike ride, National Navy UDT. Each rider will commit to raising at least $5,500 for the Navy SEAL Museum. Oh, I found it. Can't believe it.
Yeah.
Oh, you're in this picture?
Not that picture right there was last year's. Was 3 years ago. So that's the end of the bike ride. Obviously, I didn't make it to the end.
You're not the guy from second from the right, that really buff dude?
I don't know what you're looking at. I have no idea.
What color was your helmet? Do you remember? Is it yellow?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's you.
Oh, okay. That might have been that was the beginning of the ride. 26 miles later, I had my heart attack.
God, that must have been scary as shit.
Dude, I didn't know what was going on. I was exhausted. It was like people asked me, how's the guy? I mean, that goes into my whole description of a heart attack and trying to help people. I don't know if we have time for that, but yeah, it was weird. It was not sure. Like, I didn't have pains in my chest or my arms. I just felt really tired. And I laid down on the side of the road, and a couple of guys passed me up, and I'm like, yeah, I think I'm okay. A couple more guys passed me up. I said, no, I think I'm in trouble. And the guy that comes up to me is a retired doctor and a priest.
Wow. So
That's
he could
crazy?
he could either he's like a docent he could either take you to God or fucking take you to the hospital, save your life, or push you into the next realm.
Yeah. We went to the hospital first, but that was good.
Did he read you your last rites or anything, or start talking to you about God?
I don't remember anything. That was the last time. That's my last of my memory for 5 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, I was in. They took me to the local hospital, Maury County Hospital. And they tried to put stents in, and I flatlined every time. And they just said, "Well, if we keep this guy here, he's dead." So they put me in an ambulance and sent me up to Vanderbilt ICU, and they put me on an ECMO machine right away. So that's like 50-50 coming off of that.
Wow.
And, 5 days later, open heart surgery. Another heart wasn't coming in, so they went, it's today or never. Open heart surgery, had sepsis, kidney failure, and then they don't even know how long I was dead for in the other hospital. So they have no idea where I'm going to be cognitively. So, but here I am. So it's a very happy ending.
So
very lucky.
I love a happy ending. Hey, what were the so they were considering doing a heart transplant?
Yeah, then no hearts were coming in.
So you could have ended up with someone else's heart. So it actually worked out for the better that no one's heart came in.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess so. I mean, I don't know. It's 5 days later, and ECMO. That ECMO, they're only good for about 5 days, and then they call you a giver or a taker. So you're either taking somebody else's stuff or you're giving up the rest of your stuff.
ECMO machine.
Yeah,
extracorporeal membrane oxygenation machine is a life support device that takes over the function of the patient's heart and lungs when they are too weak to do so on their own. Oh God, that sounds scary as shit.
Yeah, Spencer was there, and the family was there. It was, it's what I mean. It really was, and the thing is, like for me, it wasn't really about me. It was about the family. They're the ones that are going through everything. I'm the guy that's just kind of, I'm out of it.
It's crazy how well we saw you do a workout the other day on Kill Taylor and absolutely destroy it. It's crazy how fast you got back into shape.
Yeah, it's the only thing that saved my life. I mean, I tell people, my motto is be hard to kill, and I got Pukey the Clown. I got Pukey the Clown with the stitches down the chest, and above them it says be hard to kill. And it's for anybody, for us normal people and in normal everyday living, and these things happen. I mean, you have a better chance of survival. I mean, that's what CrossFit is. I mean, it's like you said, it's like, get off the couch, get off the carbs, put yourself in a position where you can survive COVID, you know what I mean? Or anything, a car accident, a gunshot wound, right. Whatever it may be.
A night at P. Diddy's house.
Wow. That's crazy. I don't even want to go there. I don't know. I don't even know. I don't want to know.
Diddy, do you know what Diddy? Do you?
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know how involved you are, but you know that he was having some wild parties and people were blacking out.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like a couple more people are coming up for these wild parties too. So.
Yeah. God, it's so exciting.
Yeah.
So exciting. Yeah. What a fun world.
Some people are going down. It's a part of life that nobody knows about. It's all coming out.
How long have you had your gym, Andy?
20 years.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty close.
And how close is Taylor to losing his job? Is it day to day? Is it touch and go?
Why would he lose his job?
I don't know. Just because he's fucking wild. He's a madman.
He's gonna buy this. He's gonna buy the gym.
Okay, good. All right.
Yeah, it's his gym. It's his gym to buy, or and yeah, he does a great job. Yeah. So
hey, he loves you to death. The only time I've ever seen him ever take offense is when anyone cracks jokes about you, and he'll yell at us. He'll yell at the group of guys that are for little fraternity, like, "Fucking Andy's off limits. Don't fucking talk about him." We're like, dude, we talk about everyone. I don't give a fuck. Like, Jesus Christ, you got daddy issues, buddy.
Yeah, I've earned a little bit of
Yeah, he loves you, man.
So,
congratulations.
Yeah.
That's a great what a great testament to your character and who you are and what you do for people. When I see someone like Taylor love you, that means a lot.
Yeah, he's good. He comes he's had some tragedies in his earlier days. His dad died at a pretty early age for him. He was a teenager and his dad died.
Yeah.
So that's I went through a rough patch there, but I mean, for anybody to be able to climb out of a hole like he did,
Mm-hmm.
and make the best of your life and be the person that he is right now. I mean, it's just, I mean, that's a great story. I mean, it really is.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like a father to him, a father figure. So it's nice to watch him and learn and how much he's grown, especially just in the method, not just working out, but understanding the methodology of CrossFit and, you know, looking at the part where it's like, you know, where we're helping people not just get ready for a competition, but you're helping people get better in everyday life, you know?
Someone wrote in the comments, he's the son that Andy never wanted. Andy, are Spencer and Taylor friends? What's Spencer think about Taylor?
Yeah, he loves him. I mean, he's Spencer's on his own journey where, you know, he does the programming for CrossFit on that team. And so, you know, my kids aren't coming back to take the gym. They're off on the bigger and better things, you know, so that's okay. No big deal. But, yeah, he likes Taylor a lot. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. He definitely, it's interesting when he comes into town and he comes in for a workout, it's a throwdown. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Taylor wants to get at it with him, and Spencer wants to get at it with Taylor.
Yeah. They both aren't giving up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They want daddy's favor. They want daddy's favor.
Yeah.
One of them's going to get to eat at the dinner table. One of them's going to be at the small table.
You got it. The kids' table. You know that when you went Thanksgiving when you were little.
All right. Stay in touch. Yeah. You got me really nervous about this whole bike ride thing.
Yeah. You know, it's still 3 weeks away, so we'll see. I'm going to be riding a Concept 2 bike in the gym and seeing how I feel and everything, and we'll go from there.
All right, cool. Well, I'll see you Saturday on the show.
All right. Oh, you are? Oh, yeah. What's the workout? We already know it?
You have more insight into that than I do.
You're right, I do. Dude, man, I love the show. Glassman, all that stuff. You know, I keep in touch with him, and been trying to get out there to Scottsdale so many damn times for his lectures and stuff. But man, I can't wait to get out there.
Hopefully in January. Yeah, stay close. Hopefully in January. That's going to be a great reunion. There's going to be a lot of people there, you know.
I'm going to send him an email and see if I can get in on that one.
Yeah. Stay in touch with me. I'll make sure I push you up to the front of the line.
Thank you, Savon.
All right, brother. Thank you for calling.
Love
Andy.
you guys. Love the listeners, everything. Bye-bye.
Bye. I want to, no, I already had 2 coffees. I'm spun up. I want to act casual and be like, Andy Hendel called into the show, but I can't. That's some crazy flattery. Holy shit. I have such crazy respect for Andy. For him to call into the show is nuts. Nuts. That is nuts. Wow. I'll probably be high all day from that. That was Andy Hendel who called. Spencer's dad. Yeah. Yeah, he's great. That's some. With zero humility, I'll ride that one all day. Holy shit. I'm humbled by you calling. No, I'm not. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm the shit. That's crazy. Wow. Let me see what's going on with Greg. We don't have internet. Fuck. The house line is. Let me see what's going on here. Kathy.
Hey, how's it going?
Holy shit.
Craig wanted me to call you. He doesn't have internet, and they had a scheduled outage in Santa Cruz, and he went to Starbucks, and they don't have it either.
Okay, I'm going to send him a phone number right now.
Okay. I don't know if he can get text. He just like acted like I called him. I was like, hey, are you coming on the show? And he's like, I don't have internet. And he asked me to call in.
Okay. God, you're a sweetheart. Thank you so much for doing that. How are you doing?
Yeah, no worries.
How are you doing?
I'm great. I'm enjoying your podcast, by the way. I listen every week.
Oh, my God. Thank you so much. Are you going to be running the affiliate department for BSR?
Man, where do I apply?
Oh, my God. That would be amazing.
I know, right? I want to hear about this. I'm excited about it. Let's fix and chill.
Yeah, tell Greg, put in a good word for me, too. I want to be the media director.
Sounds good, Sevy.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Talk to
you. Kathy Glassman at the helm of growing CrossFit, one affiliate at a time, came out of the same vagina as Greg Glassman. That was Greg's sister. What a powerhouse of a woman. It's she's as smart as Greg, but she's even got more wit. Wit, is that the word? Is wit when you have like a good sense of humor that's like sharp? Yeah, witty. Thank you, witty. She's one of the wittiest people I've ever met in my life. God, she's fun to hang out with. Yeah, she's fantastic. Never wanting the limelight either. Such a cool lady. If you guys have never met Kathy Glassman, and she ran the affiliate department and managed the herd, grew the affiliate department, worked in charge of the fastest growing fucking chain in world history, and managed the flock. That's crazy. Yeah, he has Starlink. That's a good point. I wonder why his Starlink isn't working. Maybe he'll call in. We can ask him what the fuck's up with his Starlink. That's a trip. It sounds like that something happened to all the internet in that area. Crazy. On this table? No, that would be weird. My wife. You know when you love someone to death, but then they ask you a question that's just absolutely wild and crazy. She just asked me if the kids could do their schoolwork on the same table I'm doing my podcast. I'd rather have you diddle my butt with a dildo than share the table with the kids in a podcast. Oh, so that guy. So man, all sorts of people aren't believing in the moon landing now. What if someone from the government said, I wonder who it would take for people to believe it. Like, who would have to say it? What if Kamala was like, so I want to release a bunch of things and get the world grounded. We actually have never been to the moon. The CIA killed JFK. What if she how many things would we believe it, or would everyone be like, no, we did go to God, it's so weird.
Nigger.
Oh my goodness.
Fucking coon.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Yeah, listen, if you're gonna call and do that, don't hang up. I'm not gonna hang up on you. I'm very interested. That was a Kamala voter. You should have just stayed on. I would have I want to know how you got like that. Crazy. Stanley Kubrick knows. Oh, you want to know what phone number that is that called? I wouldn't do that. Caller, hi.
Away from me, nigger.
Hey. Oh my goodness. Just stay on the line. Don't be scared. Let's discuss. Let's discuss your issues, your perseveration, your what's funny is you can tell that's a white guy, right? Brian Clark, that was Brian Friend. Hey, dude. I'm going to be very, very honest. I could see calling into your show when I'm 12 years old and doing that. But as a grown man. No, that was not a, someone said, was that a N-bomb? No, that was not a neutron bomb. That was a affectionate term used between black men in the artistic community. There was no discussion of any violent behavior. Crazy. That was Greg calling, actually. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you're welcome, Pat. Yeah, that was just that was a guy just summoning Jody Lynn. I will screen calls for free, $49.99. You just paid for my coffee for my entire vacation. Thank you. That's awesome. Vacation. Can't believe I used that. Oh, that was Don Fall. So we have three choices. That was Greg, that was Brian Friend, or that was Don Fall. Oh my goodness. Caller, please don't hang up. Please don't hang up. Let's talk. Listen, let's talk. Can we please? Let's talk for a second, please. Let's talk. Let's me and you just have a little discussion really quick. Can we talk, please, just for a moment? I'm so curious. Your spiritual disposition. Do you believe in abortion? Are you a Kamala voter?
Roundhouse kick a nigger.
Oh man. It was Tommy Marquez. It was George Floyd. It was Mike Halpin. It was Fikowski. It was Shane Orr. Toomey. Now, this is racism. Actually, it's not racism, if you want to be completely fair, completely honest. It is not racism. Hey. Hey, Greg.
Hey.
Was that you calling on another phone number?
Yeah, I was trying.
Oh, no, I'm joking. It was someone who called in and was just saying racial slurs.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, I've been trying on myself.
Oh, where are you at home?
Yeah.
Are you like standing on one foot holding a clothes hanger so your cell phone works there?
I'm on the landline.
Oh, so it's working.
The landline is, yeah.
Hey, don't you have Starlink?
Yeah, and I couldn't make it do. Isn't that weird?
Do you think it's because of the fog?
I don't know, but it's my Starlink has never been even DSL good.
Right.
And you know what? This is my fault. I was told it was a scheduled outage.
Oh, like what they tell you that, hey, your internet's going to be down. For how long is it down?
I don't know. Market said we said something maybe until 10 or 11.
Oh, okay. Hey, did you know Andy Hendel had a heart attack?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, wild. He called today. He's so excited about the BSI stuff. He's by the way, a bunch of people have been calling me now. All sorts of flow masters and from the past and trainers. All sorts of people are DMing me that want to come in January. That thing's going to be crazy, dude.
Yeah, I mean, here it goes. I almost want to keep my what is science cert separate from the broken science thing.
Just have its own.
I think it requires a little more sophistication that you wouldn't associate with an academic product the way that the rest of the things being promoted.
Fair. I don't mean to derail you from that thought, but last night I was doing a show and I was thinking, is this going to be very similar with the organic growth of how the L1 did? Like you're going to give one, it's going to be 2 days. Then a month later, you're going to give another one and it'll be 50 new people, but people who want to come back and just stand in the back and listen again. And then before you know it, after
I don't really know
a year,
any other way to do anything. Cause like if I do one and everyone's like, yeah, that was cool. If I shake the hand, like, and you don't hear anything, it wasn't that good, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, the L1s, we never put an ad out for an L1.
But you just did the first whatever shitload of them all by yourself and just kept refining it. And then finally people in the audience were like, hey, I can do one of those lectures. And you're like, all right, give it a shot, right?
One of the first things to happen was that I asked Nicole to demo.
Uh-huh.
And then Dave says, why don't I help set up it? You do fight on bad after what is fitness every time. I can set that up. And then you can talk, I'll help you. You'll let me come do another one. Dave was a volunteer.
And then who did you give who did the very first lecture besides you? Greg?
I'm thinking, man.
Oh. Anyway, but basically that's how it formed anyway, right?
Yeah, and I would let it, first of all, you got like movement part. Okay, you've got press, push, press, and jerk.
Right, in the breakout groups?
Yeah, and then I stuck to like what is fitness, what is CrossFit, and nutrition, right?
Yeah.
And then finally people, I think it was maybe even at the level of like, geez, I don't know. I can't, Dave would remember that for sure. Because truth is, that's towards the end of my seminar reign and the start of his.
I remember one of the first times that you didn't, that you went for, we were at a gym in Scotts Valley, and I was there filming it. It must have been 2006 or 2007. And you went and got a coffee or something. You left the venue for a second, and it was like fucking crazy. You know what I mean? It was like, oh shit. And then there were, like, the 100 ducklings there, right? And they had never been there without you. You went and got a coffee. And I remember it was like this huge thing. Like, holy fuck, Greg stepped away for a minute to get a coffee or a tea. I mean, a tea. But I sort of like, that's how I imagine it. People keep asking me how they can be involved. I'm like, hey, dude, I would just go to every single one and start fucking learning the shit inside out. And then next thing you know, you'll be giving one of the lectures somewhere.
Yeah, I think it's that easy. Because I can't do it. I can't do 5 hours of lecturing on Saturday and Sunday every weekend.
Jason Pratt, Sevon, I think he means Greg. How do I get 2 tickets to see Greg speak in Arizona in January?
Well, we got to start taking names. I don't know what else to do.
Guys, you have to wait till December before you start asking me those questions or asking Greg, because we need to pin down a date. I will say this: I can't speak for Greg, but obviously people like Andy Hendel, who've been around for 20 years, I would guess would get
For
priority, or people like Graciano, who've shown the chops for it, or any flow masters, or anyone who, there's a lot of people out there, especially in the Santa Cruz area, who basically learned under Greg or trained at his gym.
Here's the thing too, Sevi. If like we're looking at the weekend of January 10th, fingers crossed, go back to the builder and the superintendent.
Yeah.
And we just want to make sure that Friday wasn't the day that the floor got painted,
Oh, right. Okay. So it's gonna be tight, the timeline.
But I think they'll do anything for me, even move some of that stuff around. But if like some guy's flying in to paint their basketball court stripes, I don't even know how any of that works.
Right.
But I know last time John Schultz and company were more than accommodating and tearing down fence, creating a walkway from the new house to the old and all that.
God, I'm so excited about this.
It all feels so familiar to me.
Yeah.
And born out of something, I don't know, something similar.
The talk that you gave in Boston, would you say that was like trying to condense all 10 lectures into one, or it's sort of like a preview?
It's kind of bouncing all over the map. More so than even CrossFit, I don't know what the elevator version of this looks like. And I used to say that if someone asks you what's CrossFit, and you tell them, well, it's constantly very high intensity functional movement, what they'll have heard is nothing. Now, once you're doing it, you go constantly very, it's different every day, functional movements. I know what those are, right? And I sure know what high intensity is. It ruined my shoes. And before that, you just don't hear anything. And so my thing was, what are you doing Monday? I want to show you. It's that way with the results too. So help me God, your blood pressure will come down, your triglycerides will come down, your bone density is going to increase, your lean body mass will go way up. Did we say anything like that to any of those people that they were there in the basement?
No.
Well, we said if you're the last person who would ever do CrossFit, we want to meet you. And there were no promises. No promises. Now they come back to us, my blood pressure's down, and you get to act surprised. It's a weird thing. I mean, it's not what you get at the Jason Evans Sales Academy, but it's the only thing I really know. Produce the fucking goods and then deal with the people that get in line.
Is there a What is Science lecture?
Yes. And the flow of the thing is like this, and this would be the introduction part I'm telling you. We're going to start off with bare bones, but wonderfully accurate, enormously precise, but super terse. It's going to feel like a skeleton because it is. We're going to hang shit on it as to what science is. And we're going to explain that this was taken from science that works, not science that doesn't. Okay? And then we're going to take that very definition, and we're going to start looking at a whole host of technical and philosophical problems. The first one we visit is the demarcation problem. And you look that up, and it's been central to philosophical dispute for 3,000 years. Well, if we look at our skeleton of what science is, we have easy resolution for that. Easy. Take a 3,000-year-old crisis and settle it right now. The demarcation between science and non-science, or science and nonsense, is the predictive strength of the models of science.
Is there a metric to that one? Like astrology is only right 10% of the time, and astronomy is right 94%.
Sure. In fact, your predictive strength is suggesting a probability. And in fact, what you have is a quantifiable demarcation, interestingly enough, which is one of the 4 wonderful advantages of predictive strength, being the validating is number 2, the single space of validation for scientific models, their predictive strength. And that comes bounded between 0 and 1. So Eddie, the next thing you want to do is, well, what would happen if you got demarcation wrong? And in fact, the academic philosophers of science did. Popper, Kuhn, Feyerabend, Mercado. They got it exactly wrong. And we have to thank for a detailed understanding of that, painful understanding of that, from David Stove. And from there, we take a step into, hey, we just brought up the idea of probability. Let's talk about a conditional probability. What a simple notion that is. And in chapter 10, in the last piece, the point is the implications for education. And if we can make that abundantly clear in this 4th step, looking at conditional probability, what defines a conditional probability, and then it just gets beautiful because the rest of the lecture you can actually pull off with reasonably bright 4th graders. And yet, the misunderstanding that comes from not knowing the difference between, or knowing that there is a difference between the probability of A given B and the probability of B given A. And by the way, this is where a chalkboard just works magnificently, because you can draw a thing called a Kolmogorov drawing of the probability of A given B and the probability of B given A. And even the kids in the 4th grade that aren't paying attention can look up the board and see the difference. And then you get to look at what happens when you confuse that difference, and we get into things like the prosecutor's fallacy, misinterpretation of lab clinical results. I mean, it's a Pandora's box of tragic thinking that results from that confusion of the inverse, it's called. And there's no need for it. And this, in fact, should be part of every 4th grader's education. It is criminal to not be able to once you taught someone what 3/4 means, to take 3 out of 4 and talk about that as a probability. And what is the numerator and what is the denominator? On and on. It's fun. I think we can make each lecture about 50 minutes long, I think, and leave you with something deeply profound. More importantly, there's an interdependence to the lectures that completes our skeleton, and at the end, you have more than a skeleton sense of what science is, but you'd also have a just as important a sense of what science isn't. And I told you before, and everyone, the motivation here in part was to give people a keener sense of rot, to know when a man, to use the words of Dean Smith at Oxford in 1914. Primary purpose of education is to detect He said the primary purpose, if not the sole purpose of an education, was to detect when a man was talking rot. And that is the problem of our age. Chronic disease is a subset of that.
It's sort of a course in telling. There's so many ways to couch it, but to tell it's a lie detector test, whether you could use it on yourself or on other people.
Yeah, I would accept that. Maybe more so a simple course in basic thinking, starting where I think the greatest advantages of people have been taken due to their inability to think. And if you don't see the replication crisis as a true crisis, as a genuine intellectual problem, and let me couch it like this: we still don't know what of preclinical oncology and hematology published is bullshit and which isn't. And this isn't just across the board. I'm talking about within what are called landmark or foundational studies. It's been known for 15 years, 20 years, that they're almost all bullshit, but we don't know which one. I would ask, is that a science? Well, in our framework, we're going to learn that science is source and repository of man's objective knowledge. That ain't that. That is not source nor repository of objective knowledge. It's a pile of bullshit that looks like science. Why is it important? All cancer treatments are based upon it. And if you need the importance of that explained to you, it's not my audience. I'll let Rob Wolf do that.
Hey, you know what's fascinating about that too? So the greatest tool we have that I think most people are used by and don't use is the brain. And it's a unfucking of the brain. It is the tools. It's
how about this?
It would be a shame for anyone not to take this.
Well, that's kind of it.
Well, I mean, if you're going to walk around on planet,
it's something I got to do. You know, people go, "What is the business?" I don't know. Who's the audience? I'm not sure. If I were the only person on Earth, I would do this and put it in a can somewhere.
Right. Hey, here's the operating system for the human body, and now here's one for the brain. Here's one for the hard drive.
Well, my 10th lecture is a conclusion. Is this the path and plan forward? So how do you build on this? Because there's an opportunity here for a lifetime of learning, and there's a discipline deep within this, and it's recognized or not. We were musing that the end point starts to look like, and this is the problem we have with placing guys like E.T. James. You know, he's kind of like a Claude Shannon. I mean, what do you call the geniuses in information theory that radically transform our lives? You know, everyone stand up and applaud electrical engineers that have made MRIs, and you know what I mean. It's a fascinating thing to be in this space, but it was really what we're talking about is the optimal processing of incomplete information, the efficient, effective, and logical, systematic processing of uncertainty, and that's been figured out. They got figured out in our lifetimes. It was lost during our lifetimes.
Wow.
It's a fascinating story. But we have the university to blame for it going wrong. The replication crisis is a university problem, and it's in the primary sciences or the research sciences are.
Hey, do you know what what you're saying basically is people go to school to get educated, and instead they get retarded. I don't mean retarded like in the third grade use of the word.
Yeah, I know.
But I mean it like it retards your growth instead. It fucks you up. It's like going to the eye doctor to get your eyes fixed, and instead of fixing them, they fucking scratch your cornea.
Yeah, you have to go get a degree so that you can understand without a life full of doubt that it was worthless.
They want you to believe imaginary bullshit. I mean, that's really what it is. It's like going to school, like Harry Potter school, and leaving there and being like, okay, I really do believe in Harry Potter.
You can be fully indoctrinated. And what I'm doing with my children is, if they were to go to school and become indoctrinated, I think they'd come home and it would wear off. You can't have read The Fatal Conceit or The Road to Serfdom as a youngster and ever be an honest socialist. You'll be pretending. Now, is that an indoctrination or is that the nature of an education? I think the indoctrination or propaganda largely involves teaching bullshit. Look at the past. Here's what we did. There's no difference between men and women. Okay, this is in the 80s.
Right.
And to not get in a fight with your liberal Aunt Helen at the Thanksgiving table, you just kind of roll your eyes and chuckle. You know, you let it go. Right, we're all equal. You know, and then if you thought they weren't, and the next thing that becomes tantamount to you saying women shouldn't be electrical engineers, and you said nothing of the fucking kind.
Right.
Right. And so just to keep civil, there's no difference between men and women. Well, the next generation, since there's no difference, I could be a man or a woman. And the next thing we know is we have medically prescribed genital mutilation as surgical art. Full-fledged insanity. Full-fledged insanity.
Hey,
it has all of the logic and charm of bariatric weight loss surgery and cutting off hands for thievery.
Hey, as you describe all that, I can think of examples of how that happened to me in my life with simple ones. The not wanting to offend Aunt Nancy, you know, at the Thanksgiving table.
We all have. We all did. The whole fucking world did. You made eye contact with the person at the table that knew that was a load of shit that people tell themselves.
But I actually started to believe it. Like we had an Oriental rug in my house as a kid, and then all of a sudden one day it wasn't okay to call it an Oriental rug, when I always thought that was a marvelous word that paid deep respect to this rug that my great grandmother brought during the genocide to the United States. And then all of a sudden it became wrong. And like I believed wholeheartedly that women and men were equal. And I had, you know what I mean? Like I was like, yeah, of course we're equal.
What we call black people changes every 30 years, and if you don't change too, you must hate them.
Right.
And what they call each other isn't the thing that we could call them.
Right.
And somehow anything you do to an Asian's okay.
And if someone would have said men and women are equal, and I said no, but women can have babies, someone at my dinner table would have rolled their eyes at me.
And now you get an argument.
Well, and now it's to where you said it is. Now there's people who even though when I was a kid, everyone would have known that what I was saying was true, but I still would have been shit on for it. But now there's people actually who are trying to argue that men can have babies.
So I've read more history in reading just one book and the asides it's taken me. But I've fallen to this Victor Davis Hanson, The End of Everything. And it gives an excruciating detail the fall of Thebes, the fall of Carthage. And of course, that just keeps driving me to the internet. And it is the most depressing, savage, brutal. I mean, it's just full of so many horrible things. You couldn't make movies like this because it would be overwrought. I mean, I just can't. I absolutely cannot believe the state of man. And it's just, if you anyone thinks things are getting better, we lost more people in World War II than all the wars man has fought prior combined. So we're getting better at it. and the selling of women and girls into slavery, the raping, the castration, the killing of all boys, anyone of fighting age, sending old people off to the mines. I mean, that's just how it's done. That's just what happens. The idea to think that your children aren't going to have their lives destroyed by war, man, that's like based on what hope is that?
Just you're saying looking at just looking back at history.
Look at current history, a little bit back, farther back, go farther back, keep going back. History seems to start with war. It's all we've ever known or done. It's a distinctive feature of human beings. Trying to eradicate civilization.
As distinctive as procreation.
There were people pushing for that at the end of World War II.
For more war?
To kill them all. Don't finish until there is no German civilization left. Hey, they lost 24% of their land mass. I mean, it was very much a Carthage-like situation. They had caused 2 horrible fucking wars, 2 of the worst the world had ever seen, in less than the space of a generation. I highly recommend the book.
Oh, please. Oh, Greg, no.
Yeah, it's an amazing story. I was telling Emily this, and she says, "Yeah, my mom read that shit to us, and her message was, that's how the world is. Wake up, get a grip." I'm like, okay, I got that.
You're one of the most positive, optimistic people, like, I know. Like, that's not a fair characterization. You don't sweat the little things. And so shit can be falling down all around you, and you seem to stay calm. But the other day, you're like, "Oh, Sevi," I go, "What?" You said, "I'm reading this book, and it made me a little worried for my kids." And I was like, "Oh, God." I'd never heard you say anything like that. And made me, and I saw you carrying that book around, and the title scares me. What is it? The End of the World, or How Things
End?
End?
The End of Everything.
Yeah, the end of everything. I'm like, why has he got that?
Yeah.
I want to be an ostrich and put my head in a hole.
Yeah, we told Will yesterday. I mean, we're watching the involution of a civilization. Y'all got front row seats. I mean, that's kind of, be your own historian.
What's that mean? The involution, like the society eating itself?
It's collapsing. It's kind of falling into its own sinkhole. Look at what's happened with just the sense and value of freedom of speech, free speech.
Hey,
people have to be silent to keep speech free. Is the new logic. We have to put someone in jail so they don't get elected to protect democracy. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that a beautiful construction?
You sound batshit crazy, but it's where we're at. It's like it's an observation.
That's what I'm hearing. Yeah. That's the argument I'm hearing. That's the intellectual argument put forward.
You're not just hearing it; you're seeing it put into action.
It's everywhere. It's everywhere. And these are the same kids that couldn't point to the Middle East on a globe for $1,000.
What do you think? I'm going back to that quote you showed me the other day about we were trying to build a civilization here in the United States that had maximum tolerance, and what that means is that we're going to have people within that civilization who try to live with maximum intolerance.
As you get closer and closer to maximum tolerance, you become more and more vulnerable to those whose ideology is no tolerance.
So is that an unachievable
maximum intolerance?
So that's unachievable unless you're going to maximum complete tolerance is unachievable, because then you just end up with like people normalizing shit like pedophilia. Like I just saw a video today where they're trying to argue that there's a difference between child molesters and pedophiles, and one of them is okay and we have to accept it. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
What is one thought and the other deed?
I think that's I honestly need to go back and watch it, but I started having like my brain got noisy as I was watching it. I was like, God, this is really where we're at. You think it's possible? So it's not possible to have a maximum tolerant. Like, I guess that's where values.
Look, who is more tolerant of anything and everything than we libertarians? I don't care what you do behind the closed door, as long as it's all voluntary, right? Doesn't involve minors, and I'm kind of out of philosophical nature and character disinterested. It was stay out of my bedroom and out of my wallet, and everything's going to be fine.
Right. But now there's a tolerance for property destruction, stealing.
I think the direction ideologically involves the abolition of all private property.
Say that one more time about the abolition of private property.
I think that where the ideology takes us, what it professes, what it purports to deliver us to, is a state of no private property.
That's interesting,
because all commons we share.
That was the World Economic Forum's line. You'll own nothing. That was Klaus Schwab's line. You'll own nothing and you'll love it.
That's right. Maybe we're going to have a plan where we have a neighborhood car. When Joe's not using it, Carol can. It works so perfectly. Those single family dwellings, I mean, there are people moving towards that. I don't want to mention any cities, but we've traveled a lot giving seminars. I've been places that are not second or third world places, big cities where doctors don't own homes.
Did Philadelphia? Someone in the comments said Philadelphia had a big riot yesterday.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wow. And someone brought a flamethrower to it.
Really?
Yeah. Elon Musk said it looks like a scene from The Joker.
Remember during the Zoom calls, kind of in the midst of the pandemic, when I was saying that Elon should run for governor, we should all elect him governor of California.
Yeah.
And what he do instead? He left the state.
I'd like to see a huge investment in water cannons, like a massive investment.
Savvy, you talking about for rioting?
Yeah, just for any just
nothing beats the Borble train.
I agree. Borbles would be
the Kenyan Borble train. Remember that thing? It was this big truck pulling all these trailers, and each trailer had like 4 Borbles in it. When it came to a stop, all the doors popped open.
Yeah.
And there was 60, 200-pound dogs that would just it was just an amazing thing. And in the videos we watched, they were sicking them on cops that were dressed like rioting villagers. And of course, they all had dog suits on, right? But these dogs would just go to town.
I don't understand how there's any tolerance for destroying police cars. I just, those belong to all of us. That's our money.
No, it's burning down the black man's barber shop that brings a tear to my eye. I'd rather you burn down the Congress.
I'm tripping on that stat, by the way. COVID basically destroyed small businesses owned by black people. 460,000 small businesses. I mean, they took. That's the thing. How would you say it's a fair thing to say that it was Democrats who were pushing the COVID agenda more so than the Republicans? closures, the masks, the injections.
It gives life to the expression of Black Lives Mattering. If you can't care about that in a big way, you're a piece of shit. And if you can't care about it because it's Black-owned businesses, I'm going to call you a racist.
And then the same thing in Ferguson. Most of those businesses burned down were Black-owned businesses, and yet supposedly those riots were to, as Kamala Harris would say, it was just their expression. They needed to keep going.
Some of those people stood there and fought to protect their business and were stomped lifeless.
Do you think it gets worse or eventually look, there's some states where that shit doesn't happen. That shit won't happen in Florida or Texas. They'll take a stand and the police will fucking fight back. You think California, that can ever happen in California? That there'll ever be a time where the police are like, fuck it, we're done, and they'll start empowering the police again?
I don't know, Sebi. It all calls. I have to guess what's going to happen in elections, and that presumes that I have to have some kind of confidence in the process. Even if I knew where the population was divided, does that mean the vote would reflect that? I'm told so often that the election wasn't stolen that I presume it has to have been.
Right. Hey, let's say even if Trump were...
I found it now plausible that everything that the Democrats say is a lie. Every single fucking thing. And as soon as you don't believe their pack of lies, you're a conspiracy theorist.
Right.
We have to figure out where are we in terms of the population, the 50-50. How many? I told you I have a family that didn't know who RFK was, that he was running, knew that there was a Kennedy that was shot. This is someone all grown up, childbearing age, who weighs in on all issues.
How could you not know? Wow.
Isn't that amazing? Well, I don't know. I think you could. I think you'd have to watch CNN pretty closely to know that RFK was running.
Right, right. I mean, they went out of their way to not talk about him.
Look up the coverage he gets. It's as bad as the coverage Elon gets or Trump gets.
Did you see, by the way, even though RFK destroyed Robert Redfield, the former CDC director, in his book, The Real Dr. Fauci, he endorsed Trump. He wrote an editorial in Newsweek magazine today saying that he was endorsing President Trump because Trump was going to restore American health. That's the director of the CDC.
This is Redfield did that?
Yeah.
This time or last time?
This time. Pretty amazing.
He's offered a few things that suggested to me he wasn't the worst of the batch. Didn't he early weigh in on the Wuhan origin?
I think so, yes.
It was like, wow, okay, well, thanks for that.
Oh shit, him and RFK had lunch this week. Wow. And he said, quote, "You got everything right." He said that to RFK Jr. in the lunch. I'm looking at the story now. Wow.
If that's true, that makes Fauci a war criminal.
Hey, dude, we just lived through a genocide right before our eyes, and no one even knows.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
Yeah, doesn't know, doesn't care. Yeah. Seeing if I can find the actual article. Wow, and he was a proponent of the vaccine in 2021, Redfield, but now he's flipped the script. He's saying, RFK, you got everything right. Wow.
Very interesting. I'm anxious to share that with man. This was yesterday?
Yeah. This is published September 24th, 2024. What's today? Today's 25th. Yeah. I'll send you a link.
Yeah. Wow. That's a pleasant and mild surprise.
I'm going to see if I can find any direct quotes from him. I can't tell. This article is written so weird. Kennedy's right. All three of the principal health agencies suffer from agency capture. A large portion of the FDA's budget is provided by pharmaceutical companies. NIH is cozy with biomedical and pharmaceutical companies, and as scientists are allowed to collect royalties on drugs the NIH licensed to pharma. And as the former director of the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, I know the agency can be influenced by special groups. I can't see who that's a quote from, but was he also the former? Was Redfield the former director of the Central Disease CDC?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was.
Oh, yeah, this whole thing is written by him. That's why I can't figure out the quote. This whole thing is written by him. So, wow. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
While listening to Tommy Seyfried this weekend, and it's amazing how things hit you on different levels. Like Will's in his third, fourth, fifth reading of Gigarenzer, and it becomes on null hypothesis significance testing, and it slaps him harder in the face on each read. And then I told you I found some old notes of mine where I was just kind of mapping the shift that comes from the mitochondrial burnout, where you go from oxidative phosphorylation to burn ATP, to produce ATP to a substrate level outside of the mitochondria in the cytoplasm, where we have a substrate level phosphorylation and fermentation process. And that being basically the hallmark of all oncocells, more common than any kind of nuclear variant or mutation. And so, and he was revisiting. It's kind of old hat now, but it's cool. You can find places in Wikipedia where it's kind of words a little bit out, right?
Yep.
Like in the field of glutamine inhibitors, and you look down at the notes and you see some of the research and treatments that we've funded. But no one's going to stand up in any kind of commercial environment and say tell the truth, that sugar causes heart disease, it causes obesity, it causes diabetes, and long-term leads to cancer. No one can really say that. And not because it's not true, because it is true. Listen to these experts on nutrition talk and wait for them to say something about glycation, production of uric acid, fructose, sugar. Are they gonna? They're not gonna. They're not gonna. You're gonna hear about seed oils, genetically modified organisms. You're gonna hear about pesticides, everything, calories, everything but sugar. And the more you talk nutrition, and the more you're proven to not go down the sugar road, the better funded you're going to be. And Coke will pay for you to just talk your brains out if you don't talk about sugar. You can go anyone else's ox. You can talk about meat. You can talk about pesticides. You can talk about seed oils. A favorite is highly processed foods. Highly processed foods. Geez, no one wants highly processed foods. It's all bullshit.
Don't forget about the microplastics.
Oh, and there's microplastics. Dear God, what are we going to do about them? I thought nanotechnology we'd be able to swallow something that ate those and we shit it out by now. But remember, nanotechnology was going to change everything for us. It's crazy. If you're not talking about sugar, you're either part of the problem or you are the problem. Meaning, that's the voice of Coke, Pepsi. Support anything except talk about sugar. And in the toxicity of it, the impact of it across the population is so pronounced that all those other things, problems or not, we will not ever have accurate assessment of them until we fix this first problem. That's the nature of the scale of it. With an A1C of 14 and weighing 450 pounds, I'm not going to be able to measure the impact of microplastic or seed oil on your ass. Now, who will say that within the CrossFit community? I'll answer the question. Nobody. Not officially. They can't anymore. Let everyone figure out how that happened. You should get Dr. Michael Norden's book, different subject, but after listening to Dr. Powell, is it? Chris Powell?
Palmer.
Palmer.
What's the name of the book? Tell me the name of the book.
Beyond Prozac by Dr. Michael Norden. He was a psychiatry head at UCLA and was a pioneer in clinical uses of Prozac. And in this book that came out in January of '96, he said that the most effective clinical treatment for, and then you got a 2-page list of shit, where the pages face each other. And I need to use a dictionary on all of it, just about. Like, I didn't know people ripped their hair out and ate it, you know? But, and of course, it's got a Greek name, because people have been doing that forever. But anyways, sad thing, right? But he says the most effective treatment to date has been the zone diet, as developed by Dr. Barry Sears. And then he delivers a prostaglandin-based theory of mental disorder.
I listened to another 5 hours of the Real Fauci book yesterday on my drive down. Crazy.
I didn't finish the book. I couldn't.
Yeah, you don't need to. It's the same thing over and over and over. But it's still so.
Like, I get it.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm a juror, I'm ready to vote.
Yeah, here's the thing. It's so brutal what just happened. And obviously, right, it's all, if it wasn't real, someone would have sued him, right?
Oh.
I mean, he goes scorch earth on everybody.
Escape that. I had to do this. I'm like, I've read federal grand jury indictments. This reads that for him. He reads like a federal grand jury indictment. So I went back and checked him out. I had forgotten what his background was. And he was a prosecutor. So he got in a little trouble with the law. He's a good dude. I have immense respect for RFK Jr.
Jake Chapman, please tell me RFK Jr. doesn't read the audiobook. No, it isn't. Be nice.
Oh, that would be something.
Hey, I want to tell you something, and I mean this with peace and love. I've been watching more and more RFK videos ever since he endorsed Trump, and if you watch him at 1.25 speed or 1.5 speed, it's perfect. It's like I'm completely into it. It's good. He has Parkinson's, right?
Yeah.
He's all juiced up. He looks good. I wonder how. I have to assume he's on TRT or something. I mean, he looks jacked out of his mind, and he's so happy and positive. Hey,
got just the right combo of peptides.
There you go. Hey, what about this event? So tomorrow I'm going to see you. I'm coming up to. I think Sarah's picking me up at 2.
Yeah.
And we're headed up to Malibu. Do you know what lecture you're giving there?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. What's your recommendation?
I like the one that you gave at the in Boston. I thought it was amazing.
Okay.
How much time do you have?
4 to 6.
Oh, 2 hours. Wow.
Yeah.
I like all the stuff where you explain something I can't understand, and then you give a metaphor or simile or an actual place I can see it in the real world. And then usually I grasp it for like 2 minutes, and then you move on to the next thing and I forget what I grasped. But after hearing you do that 100 times, I start to grasp them.
I was moving in this direction before, and I derailed myself with my own aside. But where this ends, that plan and path forward, the 10th chapter, the 10th lecture, and implications for education. Each of the except for the introduction and the conclusion, the other 8 chapters collectively lead to a pretty technical and rigorous, formal would even be a good word, but maybe most important, logical philosophy of science. Very much leading to fundamentally E.T. James and probability theory as a logic, as an extension of logic. And so that kind of is something that you would imagine if I had to, like, where would that be taught? Because it's clearly learned, and there are people in the AI world, for instance, have learned this shit almost entirely, in fact. But what this looks like would be a philosophy degree offered from the physics department at Cambridge. Imagine that.
Yeah.
The current philosophy of science makes physicists laugh. Engineers find it every bit as absurd as Marxism. And that is the Popper-Kuhn, Feyerabend-Lakatos denial of induction and the attempt to base science on deduction. And it's the toxic allure of certainty created a profound mismanagement of uncertainty. And while that was going on, a handful of physicists, people in information theory, mathematicians, and some more physicists did the work and developed a comprehensive inference scheme that's inductive. AI is one of the fruits of it. But there's a new one of my sections is a new pantheon. Popper and Kuhn and Lakatos, and again, they went to deductivist route. That's why we have the frequency of statistics that denies the probability of a hypothesis even has meaning. And what's so sad about that is it doesn't have meaning. Shit, it's the sole space. It's the single space in which science finds validation. And we've got a school of statistics that's been in power a long time that says it has no meaning. And guess what? They produced a bunch of science that let's just say it has no meaning and that it won't replicate. Dude, you take a phonograph record, you break it in half, you put it on the platter and spin it, and it doesn't work. That's what we got. And I think I can teach that to grade school kids. I can get you on the path to seeing that in vivid detail in the course of the 10 hours on a weekend, where you go home and you just do the rest yourself, kind of like the level 1 was on the fitness. Nobody went to the level 1 and got fit immediately. No one left fit. But 1 million people became very fit afterwards.
Right. And then they told another 10 million people.
That's the hope. And, you know, I'm the guy, I don't believe in mass conversion events. No one's going to fix what's wrong, I'm saying.
Right.
Excuse me. Everything that's wrong is wrong on purpose. What I mean is the most horrific facet of something, you know, like Grady Memorial Hospital using radiation to treat a breast cancer where it's known to have never worked. Took years for the good doctor that became in charge of oncology there to get that removed. I forget his name. I feel bad. Great, Otis Brawley.
With a B?
It took years to get profit ranked lower than efficacy in chemotherapies for cancer. Years it took. It was an uphill battle. I tell you exactly what happened when he leaves. Look at what the heads that Emily was bringing up.
Wait,
Look
what
at
happens
the
when he
heads of
leaves?
the
They bring
three
it back?
largest-
They bring it back?
Oh, I would assume so. I just assume so. Remember the guy at Grady what was the hospital in Illinois? Not Peoria. What was it? Our little community hospital. They built a gym and created all kinds of health, and I was so excited. And
Yeah, there's a city in Atlanta with the same name. That's how I always remember it.
Anyway, the hospital was had all the doctors and nurses and everyone doing CrossFit and people outside the community and the families and every doctor had some great story to tell across the board as to how important this was. And I was asking Dr. Smith, isn't this amazing? And he actually grabbed me by the lapels of my jacket, gently pushed me up against his tree, and he says, I could fucking bankrupt the hospital on the pharma alone. Don't think this is winning me anything. I was like, wow. And then guess what they did? They got rid of him.
Oh shit.
He told me what he needed to do was the people that were for the bottom line, what he needed to do was get like 100 treadmills and set up a post-MI kind of heart rehab program, and the government would pay for the whole thing. Instead, what he did was he built a gym and eradicated disease within a whole bunch of the medical staff. Can't run a hospital like that, where everyone's actually living healthy and demonstrating it. How do you like that? I could bankrupt the hospital on the pharma savings alone. Like, dude, he was pissed at me.
Yeah, he's a businessman. You were fucking up his business.
If I had dented his car, I would sure an ass beating was coming. This isn't a walk through the woods from the hospital to the gym. I was so happy. This is the greatest thing ever. We could do this at all the hospitals. Wow. You hear what that cardiologist said? That's unbelievable. How about everyone was happy except the CEO.
Otis Brawley, he's a black guy?
Yeah. Great writer.
Cancer
luminaries. Brilliant man. He's like a third generation black physician from the Chicago area initially, I think.
Yeah. University of Chicago.
How We Do Harm, right? Is that the book?
Yep.
My memory works better when I don't have internet.
You're just talking on the phone?
Yeah, I just gotta come up with it, you know.
I know
Otis Brawley, How We Do Harm.
Is that event tomorrow open to the public? You probably don't even know.
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
Yeah. No, there was limited space. I mentioned it on your show, and I think Mike got deluged.
Oh, good. It's $3,000 a ticket. And then if you,
I told him to do what you wish.
Is it actually at? Is it where I think it is? I probably shouldn't say, but
yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
We got a history of talking there.
Yeah, I've seen you do a bunch of talks there.
Maybe there's overflow. We go up to Pepperdine.
All right, I'm going to.
I wish my hope would be that I could get someone to engage me on science.
Oh, and from the audience?
Yeah, I would like to hear like Bearzow, the guy that he debunks bad science, and he has that thing in Real Clear Science. I think it's Alex Bearzow, and he explains in there that consensus is at the heart of the scientific method. I mean, it's just unbelievable. It's so perfectly fucking wrong. It's the straw man I would build to make my case. It's the perfect expression of exactly what's wrong. And it's still up. And he goes on to explain that if you want to learn more about this shit, go to Thomas Kuhn.
What is the article again called? Where is it up when you say it's still up? What is it?
It's on the subject of, remember that solar system that has consensus at the center and you have experimentation? It explains the scientific method in terms of its consensus being part of it. It's in Real Clear Science, and I think his name is Berzow. First name, I believe, Alex. I think I have that right.
What? Spell his last name for me again.
Berzow. Bearzow.
Berezzow. Okay, got it. Oh, got it. Consensus is part of the scientific method from 2016.
Yes.
Yeah, you would like.
Yes.
We need this guy. I mean,
it's the most amazing thing in the world. I could actually just travel around the country sharing that dangerous notion. It's unbelievable. It's exactly fucking wrong. But he does the right thing in giving Kuhn credit. I would also credit Popper and the rest of what Stove calls the irrationalist.
So basically, practically speaking, if all the scientists get together and there's a consensus that I am a woman, even though the science shows that I'm a man, I would be a woman. Outside of all facts and predictive value.
What happens is that when you remove predictive strength as the determinant of validation in a scientific model, here's what happens. We have no rational expectation of replication. We've lost objectivity. That's where, remember, it says it's source and repository of man's objective knowledge. The objectivity is gone. I no longer have clear demarcation between science and non-science.
Did this guy actually write? Oh, yeah, this guy is a moron. Even I can catch this. Wow.
He's well-intended. I'm not, it's such a wonderful work. Remember when I picked two articles out of the off the net on overhead press and held them up as examples of like how training gets a bad name and wrote a journal article on it.
Yeah.
And it turned out, and they didn't even know each other, but they were both personal friends of Lisa Ray.
Oh shit. Were they in the audience?
No. I just found this shit on the net, and look at this guy. Holy cow, you can get someone killed. How about this one? And I was like, the overhead squat's dangerous when you don't know how to teach it.
Yeah, this guy lacks.
This
is incredible. This guy lacks precision in his use of words. Also, this Alex guy. Observations no longer make sense. Predictions weren't coming true. Hypotheses were shown to be wrong. Only a new consensus could pull it all back together. That's how science works. The scientific method produces consensus.
That's pure Thomas Kuhn. That's his paradigm shift. Things is ordinary science until something amazing comes along, and then we get a whole new shift, whole new paradigm. And what's very clear about Thomas Kuhn is that he mixed sociology for epistemology. His logic and his sociology become one and the same, and it's just garbage. As different as the major players in academic philosophy of science are, different as Popper is from Kuhn, is from Feyerabend, is from Lakatos. And as much disdain as they may have had for one another, they are united in their denial of induction. That they all took Hume's inductive skepticism and turned it into denial, and it's a fatal flaw. And academics love to make distinctions between them, but it's kind of like, talking about how important it is to not confuse John Wayne Gacy for Jeffrey Dahmer for Charles Manson. It's like, come on,
right?
Whatever their differences are, their penchant for mass murder is enough to hold them in common.
Well,
and again, that's the quest for certainty. And it starts with Popper's demarcation of falsification. That's the greatest unforced error in the history of intellectual thought.
Thank you.
Anyway, thank you.
Oh, I hear a child in your background. That's I've taken over it's 9:15 a.m. here, and I've taken over the main room for 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Kill it. Love you, and I'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Hey, thank you for using the phone to call in.
Hey, if I had the number, I would have done it sooner.
All right, you demand, Greg. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll talk to you later today. All right, bye.
Bye.
Greg Glassman, Andy Handel. Who else called in? Will Plummer, affiliate owner from Oregon. David Weed in the comments. It's the greatest show on earth, man. There's someone up here who's like, what is it? Some guy named Jason Plummer or something. Where's that comment? He's like, if there's a horse and a donkey and they're fighting each other with an elephant in a puppet show and everyone's watching and distracted, and then meanwhile your wallet is being stolen and blah blah. Okay. Where are you sitting that you're seeing all this? That's what I want to know. Can you tell me where you're sitting, where you're seeing all this? What's your perspective? What ladder are you standing on? Don't tell me how smart you are. Both parties are doing the same thing. You're just being played. It's a distraction from blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. So you got a good seat. But where is it? Where's that seat? What do you see? No, I'm not grumpy at all. I'm fucking pumped. I'm in a great mood. What are you talking about? I've been having a blast today. I'd like to get some consensus on that. Or the other, does anyone else think I'm in a bad mood? I'm in a great mood. Oh, yeah, don't forget the racist called in. No, that wasn't a racist. That was a black guy, actually. All right. Love you guys. Talk to you later. What is today? Today Wednesday? I'm not sure what else is going on today. It looks like Russell Berger's coming on this week. Today was Greg Glassman. Okay, we did that. Oh, tomorrow, Dane Donaldson. Oh, tomorrow's story is going to be great. I met this guy at the CrossFit Games. Tomorrow's story is going to be a wild one. Tomorrow's story is going to be a wild one. Strap in. And then Friday, Russell Berger. Awesome. Wow, cool week. Wait, don't hang up yet. 30 more minutes, guys. No, I got to go. I got to pee. And, like, I've taken over my house. Like, I'm just in the kitchen here. The kids are, like, avoiding, like, coming out here. And I got to take them out. All right. Thanks, Ken. Good to see you. Jeffrey, good to see you. David Weed, good to see you. Uplift Mark, good to see you. Heidi Kroom. Oh, that's funny. I was just asking on the drive down. I was like, I haven't seen Heidi. I was telling my wife I haven't seen Heidi in the comments lately. Anyway, I'll probably come on tonight, hang out. Probably go for a long walk with the kids now. Catch up, brush up on my P. Diddy. Maybe we'll do another show. Did Diddy do it tonight? I got to get Andrew on too. I want to talk to Andrew about some shit. All right. Love you guys. Sabir and Kelly, thank you so much for the song. What a cool song you guys made. I absolutely loved it. Absolutely fantastic. Oh, you've been in France. Are you getting railed in France? Did you go there with a dude? Mr. Kelly, maybe I'll see you tonight or tomorrow, Mr. Kelly. You pop up everywhere. All right. Great seeing you guys. I'll come on tonight. If I come on, because I'm probably going to go have a Bloody Mary now. If I come on tonight, that means I'm going to have to work out really hard. Maybe, but I'll have to work out really hard. Sober myself up or something. All
right. Yeah. We're live, welcome to the 7 podcast. Let's dive behind the scenes with the man behind the scene. The needle moving, CrossFit media. Caleb in background, and then there's Souza, executive producer. Just shut up and scribble. The man with the most to say, but says so little. No smile, JR 2 syllable. They say he's hot, he's crash crucible. Mr. Self from Taylor, full weight podcaster, not derailer. Mouth like sailor, sentinel, training programmer. Colin Colton, let's kill Taylor. Everything you need to know, the Sevenistas got you covered, got you covered. Anytime you're feeling low, Paper Street baristas, coffee powered. Everything you need to know, the Sevenistas got you covered, got you covered. Anytime you're feeling low, CA peptides move you forward. Move you forward. Tyler Watkins, Heat 1, make your picture the big John Young, he's coming. Senior analyst, climb his mountain, we like his shouting. Income Hiller, the no rapping Silla. Don't look out overhead or squat below parallel. The Batman gonna fly out to hell. Yo, Pedro, most creative man in his space, formerly known as Peter White. Fake news, dry humor, he brings Irish sarcasm to the mic. CrossFit father, Greg Glassman, the solution to the most vexing problem. Fixing broken science is the plan, starting with your level 1. Everything you need to know, the Sevenistas got you covered, got you covered. Anytime you're feeling low, Paper Street baristas, coffee powered. Everything you need to know, the Sevenistas got you covered, got you covered. Anytime you're feeling low, CA peptides move you forward. Move you forward. Start with the guest. E-break, unhinged rant, talk, politics, DEI. We should call Laura. Chasing Grum, Bill Gunler, Caleb and the shot taken. Brian spin with the barbell spin. News like adrenaline. Wonder if they would let him do the behind the scene this year. He and his team brings excitement we haven't seen many years. Bryson Del Monte gets XLTs at Vindicate. The man who orchestrate Will Brandstetter looks like a graduate. Everything you need to know, the Sevenistas got you covered, got you covered. Anytime you're feeling low, Paper Street baristas, coffee powered. Everything you need to know, the Sevenistas got you covered, got you covered. Anytime you're feeling low, CA peptides move you forward. Bye-bye.